What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is the 1960s in colour Life in America.
I feel like we might not know these.
Yeah,
We're getting a bit back now.
When it says in colour, that's when you know it's old school. It's had to colour it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that means that they've had to colorise the images and stuff like that.
I'm guessing so.
So we know we're getting old school. But like we said in the last video, age is just a number, and it just means you've got more experience and more knowledge than like little people like us.
Little?
I suppose we're 24. Oh, I'm 24 next week. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm 24 next week. That's mad. You're already 24, aren't you? You have a little person inside you, which is mad.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to poke you then. I did not mean to poke you.
Which makes me not a little person anymore.
Which makes you not a little person. Hope you're enjoying this content, guys. Smash that like button if you are. Smash that subscribe button. Let us know if you grew up in the 60s. We were born in 99. Yes. So we technically grew up in the 2000s. But we claim we are 90s kids.
Well, we are.
But we just didn't grow up in the 90s. But
we're 90s babies.
Yeah, 90s babies. Baby for you.
Yeah, but we are.
We are. We're from the 90s.
I'll give my birthday.
We're from the 90s, grew up in the 2000s.
Yeah, I got a 19 in front of my birthday. Yes. Exactly.
Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Check out Patreon. So we do have a baby coming, and it would mean a lot to us. Oh, we do. We do. It would mean a lot to us. I would really appreciate it. And are you ready to get into it?
Yes.
The 1960s in colour. Let us know in the comments if you want us to do 1990s, by the way. So I think that's next on our list, isn't it?
The 2000s would be fun.
Ooh, definitely, because we may get a lot more on that as well. You ready?
Yes.
Let's get what we got. I can jam to anything. Look.
That's not a good jam.
For many families, the 1960s were an amazing time, despite the turbulence of the decade.
Okay.
Family life mirrored the times. The decade began innocently, but grew into unrest with assassinations, war, and rebellion. However, these years did bring considerable societal advances.
No, it was the decade of
Martin Luther King. No?
John F. K.
John F. Kennedy, but that said King on there. So back they were referring to Martin Luther King.
Maybe it was too, but John Kennedy also.
But yeah, obviously we know about Martin Luther King. I Had a Dream and all that amazing speech. I just weren't. In my head, I've definitely been told I couldn't remember what years it were, but maybe it was the 60s.
Mm.
With women's rights, civil rights, and also space exploration.
Okay, a lot going on.
Yep.
By 1960, most American households had a television.
Okay.
There were only 3 channels, and usually only 1 TV set per household. People began to rely on TV news for the day's headlines.
Okay.
We're not watching anything.
When something major happened on TV, it affected the whole country at the exact same time.
That's mad, innit?
Yeah.
No notifications from different sites or watching
TV. The decade
TV.
brought with it many notable television news stories that included the assassinations of JFK, Dr. Martin Luther King,
Oh wow.
and Robert Kennedy.
A lot
The
of
civil rights
assassinations
struggles that were also documented were peaceful protests, violent retaliation, and landmark legislation.
Okay.
The Vietnam War and the counterculture movement also made headlines as the future became quite unclear.
Uncertain times then, very uncertain.
Aside from the important news stories of the decade, TVs were also used for entertainment. After dinner, families gathered around the TV, and the living room became a family theater. Some of the most popular shows on television during this time were the Beverly Hillbillies, Bonanza, Dick Van Dyke, The Andy Griffith Show, and Star Trek.
And I know Star Trek.
Heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen. I know.
I watched it.
You know, the only reason I know about Trek is from Big Bang Theory. Because they absolutely love it, like Sheldon and Leonard absolutely love it with Spock, I believe. He dressed up as him once, and I think he runs really fast, because I remember Sheldon thinking he ran really fast. If you watch Big Bang Theory, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you watch Star Trek, I think that's a good reference, I think.
I love the outfits.
By the mid to late 1960s, more women were entering the workforce, and the makeup of the family had begun to change. This trend challenged the social order, where men were the breadwinners, and women managed the home and cared for the children.
Okay, so still in the 60s, transitioning into
Yeah.
life as we know it, I guess.
Oh, I'd love to be at home just with the kids. Who gave us that right?
Road trips during this time were also popular. The interstate highway system was materializing from coast to coast.
Okay.
At the same time, automobiles were becoming a fixture in front of family homes.
Is that a set of golf clubs? Looks like it's older
It
set
looks
of golf
like
clubs.
it.
Gas was about 25 to 30 cents per gallon. With a AAA
Cents.
triptych map and a loaded up station wagon, American families hit the road with a possible stop at a Holiday Inn or a Howard Johnson restaurant.
We're not expensive, we just look that way. That's
Like
good.
that.
That is good, that is very good. I mean, let us know in the comments, would you see, I know it's fading away, would you see that now typically in America next to a road? Because you kind of see that when we go on holiday in Europe, there'll be holiday places which will be playing games like that, potentially next to a big motorway, if there is one, or next to a beach or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you actually see that now in America? I didn't know there was places like that in America where
I
you'd be
didn't.
playing games or not outside near the road.
I didn't.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
can't tell because it looks very American, but also looks very old-fashioned. So I'm not sure.
I mean,
Do you
that,
get what I
that is
mean?
definitely American.
No. But what I mean is like I feel like it could work now. Like it could still look good in America now,
Definitely.
but it also looks like old. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and that them scenes I associate with like a holiday destination, not
Yeah, like a
in the centre.
all-inclusive place or something.
Yeah, literally. But do you guys just have these in America? I guess so, 'cause it's so big. It's technically there's loads of holiday destinations, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I don't know why I just never pictured something like that in America.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
The 1960s was a great decade for sports. Baseball has never been more exciting than it was in 1961,
Okay.
when Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle raced to break Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs in a single season.
Can't beat a bit of
On
competition.
October 1st,
No?
during the last game of the regular season, Roger Maris hit his 61st home run against the Boston Red Sox.
Fair play. Last game as well.
Yeah.
Ali, Muhammad Ali.
In 1964, Olympic gold medalist Cassius Clay,
60s.
at 22 years old, defeated Sonny Liston in a technical knockout to win the heavyweight
not Muhammad
boxing
Ali.
championship of the world. A few weeks later, he would change his name to Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
Gonna
It
say,
is Muhammad Ali.
I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely didn't know he had a name change, and I was like, I froze. I'm like, that's definitely Ali. Like, I was like, there's like the main reason I know it's Ali because I mean I never knew it was 60s. You're right.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at you.
Oh, I could tell what you were up there. The only reason I didn't know it was 60s. The only
That's
reason I knew that photo is because I remember when AJ knocked him out, there were comparisons, which is so ridiculous because the complete, do you know what I mean? Ali's an absolute legend. But there's like an image which they tried comparing him over his thing with that. And I was like, oh my god, that is Ali.
You've got the wrong picture.
Yeah, I was like, the big wrong picture. And even that, I was like, that looks like Ali. But there you go, I didn't know he
I
changed his
wondered
name.
why you weren't replying to me. You were like a bit like, what?
I was just trying to process it in my head. I was like, no, like I know I'm not very good with names. I know I'm not amazing at boxing, but that's Ali. I was like, there we go. You learn something every day, don't you?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if everyone knew that. I guess you probably did, especially if you're watching growing up in the 60s. Would have never guessed that was 60s. I'd have said later on, like maybe 70s, 80s, and I never knew he changed his name.
No idea.
There we go. You had a good laugh then.
Yeah, I did.
The first Super Bowl featured the Green Bay Packers against the Kansas City Chiefs in 1967.
First
Wow.
one.
The Packers beat the Chiefs 35-10. The
That's a
first
big win.
Super Bowl halftime show featured not a popular singer, but rather two marching bands, a solo trumpet player, and the Bell Rocket Airman.
Oh wow, that makes sense though because you like your marching bands.
Yeah.
So and it's nice that the first one started.
It is.
I like that.
That's so old school bike.
Spend bikes are so old school. The
If you
long
came of
seat.
age in the 1960s, your best times
Was
were
it
probably
with the
spent
kids'
riding your banana
tops?
bike with friends, listening to the Beatles, wearing go-go boots or bell-bottom
Go-go
jeans,
boots.
watching American Bandstand, and learning to do the twist.
Those bikes are so American.
So old school, aren't they? So American, the school buses. So American.
But still,
Oh yeah, still.
60s,
Oh,
still.
definitely. Yeah, yes, still.
those dresses as well, very.
It's mad seeing all the images in it.
As the decade came to a close, one event seemed to bring us all back together.
Moon
Watching
landing.
Apollo 11 rocket into space and then witnessing astronaut Neil Armstrong take his first steps on the moon was mesmerizing.
I can imagine. That
But the
must have been a
entire
big
decade
moment.
was spent watching, waiting, and dreaming about a moon landing. Watching NASA put men on the moon was like seeing science fiction come to life, and it was the perfect ending to a memorable time in American history.
Yeah, that must be watching that live must have been a massive
Massive
moment.
thing.
Look at them all just gathered around that one TV. It's mad, isn't it? Compared
It's
to like,
nice though, I like it.
oh, definitely, it's a proper family thing, isn't it? Proper like that. So,
What are some of your favorite memories of growing up in the 1960s?
Love a mini golf. Let us know your favourite memories, by the way. We want to hear them. I'm excited to see them.
That's cool.
That's American as well, just the car, the ice cream.
Even the cup.
Literally, yeah, the glass is
glass
holding
thing.
it in. It's just looked American. It's
Uh-huh.
weird. I don't know why. Oh, that's good. Enjoy that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Smash that button if you enjoy, guys. Smash the subscribe button. I didn't know this was a thing, but pops up. Remember these fads from the 1980s. So we could, in theory, do this again. We're going to do the 90s next, but we could do remember these fads if you guys
Yeah.
want to see it from the 1980s to see if them fads stick around. Maybe
Yeah.
they've come back. Because like I say, we talked about the high socks in the last video, didn't we?
They've come back.
They've come back around. People doing high socks.
There's
and stuff
things
like
that have definitely come back into fashion.
Definitely, so it'll be interesting to see what we got with the fads. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button, and watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
And we will see you, legends, in the next one. Peace.